Oh, look, Shireen.
Everybody see that? Okay.
It's so nice to see you.
Oh, hey Pam, all these folks that we
Oh,
know.
there's
Hello,
Pam.
friends. Hello, friends.
I know. Oh.
All right, I know we're
And
like
there's
gushy.
Kai. I'm telling you, Kai.
We're gushy
I know,
because we
Kai.
see all
Did you
these
take
people.
classes with us before? I know, Kai.
Key?
Did you?
Key.
Yeah. Did you take classes with us before?
No, my girls did soccer about maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, through Mount of Sports. Got you.
I think that's how I know you.
Okay.
I know that name. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now.
What? Okay. Well,
Okay.
is it my turn to?
Let me know whenever you want to share.
We're ready because go ahead and share the screen. Go ahead and share the screen when you're ready.
Nicole is praying.
Oh, Nicole is praying.
I'll do that first.
Oh,
Okay,
she made it.
Yeah.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day and for your goodness and mercy toward us. We thank you, Lord, because you are good and you're kind. And we thank you because you love us and you care for us. And because of all of that, Lord, we have had opportunity to be here tonight. And so we thank you for another time to gather together as homeschoolers. We thank you for eXtend Tutorial and how you've given us this opportunity to serve and minister to families. And we just pray that you will be with us in the midst of this meeting tonight, that you would bless each family that has come, that they will get the information that they need. We thank you for clarity of thought. We thank you for articulation of speech. We thank you for understanding. And we thank you, dear Lord, that we know that the needs of the people who should be with us for this coming program year will be met. And so we thank you, Lord, because you do all things well. If there's any unmet needs in this room now, Lord, we just pray that you would meet those needs, that you would see each family where they are, each individual person, Lord, and that you would attend to their needs. We thank you and praise you because you do all things well. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Wow.
You keep sharing, Nico. I'll keep letting people in.
Great. All right.
Okay.
Let me know what you can see.
We got it.
All right. Can everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Awesome. Well, Monica, can you send me your screenshot, please, of what you just screen shared before?
Which one? This screen?
No. The other one. The one that we talked about before we started the agenda.
Oh, yes, sure.
Okay. Awesome. I think I'm doing the opening.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I am. All right. Well, first, we just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for just joining us this evening. Thank you so much for your interest in eXtend Homeschool Tutorial. I am Kim Kent, the director and really co-director, I feel like, and co-founder here. And we are always so grateful for the opportunity to share what God is doing here in our program. And we pray that that you were able to meet your needs here. And if not, you know what, that's okay too. We realize that we're not everything to everybody, and that's okay. We ultimately hope that whatever information that you do get here, you'll be able to use as you make decisions moving forward for you and what is best for you and your family. Okay. So again, I'm the director here, and of course, I'm going to introduce the amazing, fantastic, high-powered A#1 leadership team. I'm sorry, guys, but can I just tell you all, if listen, and some of y'all who've known us for a while and have been with us for a while know that if COVID taught you anything, it taught you that this team is fire. So I am so grateful to welcome and introduce Nicole Green, who is our co-director. She linked arm from the very beginning. She co-founded this thing, and I'm so grateful to have her. Also want to introduce Maniko Broadhurst. Maniko is the marvelous, magnificent Maniko. She is the queen of all things admin, and she really makes this whole thing run. So the three of us together make up your leadership team for eXtend Homeschool Tutorial. And again, it is our fabulous privilege to welcome you here tonight. All right, and next, that's the first introduction. The next introduction is that I get to introduce you to our tutors. We have, okay, I know I'm biased, but we have the most amazing tutors on the planet. I know I'm biased, but I'm just going to tell you anyway, they're phenomenal. And so I'm just going to go through who everyone is and what they're teaching. So if you have a student in this grade that's taking this class, I want you to just pay attention so you know, oh, that's who I need to talk to. So of course, there's Sharice Bracey, who teaches 5th and 7th grade math, as well as our high school advanced math. She is amazing. Vita Bratton, who teaches 4th grade math and 4th grade social studies. Of course, Maniko, who is on the leadership team. And not only is she magnificent, marvelous Maniko on the leadership team, she is a phenomenal 5th and 6th grade writing instructor. She does 7th and 8th grade ELA, English Language Arts. And this year, which is new to us, we're so excited about her high school computer application and digital media class. That thing, woo, I'm excited about that. Anyway, then we also have Janelle Davis, who is 8th grade science and our high school biology tutor. Dion Dawkins is doing 3rd and 4th grade ELA, that's English Language Arts. Kim DeRocher is doing 7th and 4th grade science. Next slide. I'm on a roll. Ashley Gilbert. Some of you who are with us now know her for her history and her art. Well, next year she's going to be doing 5th and 6th grade social studies, 7th grade civics, and 8th grade economics. I'm a little biased because I was an econ major at University of Maryland. Then we have Marianne Goff, who is new to our team this year, doing elementary and middle school music. She is phenomenal. And then, of course, we have our fabulous co-founder, Nicole Green, who is the high school queen of grammar and comm and literatures. And listen, what's so awesome, I know some of y'all have seen this, how she's mixing the history and the literature together. So she's gonna be doing American history and lit, whoop, whoop, world history and lit, and of course, U.S. government. So excited. We have Becky Kang. Many of y'all know her from the summer prep classes. If y'all were doing Shirley Grammar, she's going to be doing the grammar portion of 5th and 6th grade ELA. And of course, she's going to be doing our Shirley Grammar prep over the summer. Yours truly, I do 3rd grade, 6th grade, and 8th grade math. And I do high school algebra 1. And then we have Kathy Cobb, who is amazing. I've known Kathy since she first got into the whole homeschool tutoring game. And she's doing algebra 2 and geometry. Cheryl McCain is new to us. She's going to be doing 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade social studies. So excited about her. Courtney McCullough Robs is a parent now turned into a tutor doing high school entrepreneurship. So those kids who are looking to doing their own business, that's so exciting. Anna Miller is currently with us now as well. She's bringing to this year American Sign Language, the ASL, high school ASL. She's also going to be doing high school anatomy and physiology, and chemistry. Savon Montu is a parent turned into a tutor. Yay! She's doing 1st and 3rd grade science. Deneen Moore, who's been with us from day 1, is back doing 1st and 2nd grade ELA and 1st and 2nd grade math. And Sean Richardson, we're so excited. It's our first male tutor ever. He's doing PE, middle and elementary PE and high school PE. Flip. Y'all know, I'm from New York, so I go a little fast. Yeah. Okay, and then last, rounding it up, we've got Terica Richardson, who's doing 5th, 6th, and 7th grade science in the fall. And Jackie Smith is doing high school Spanish 1 and 2. And as I put in here, we really are so blessed to have, as I said before, the most amazing tutor team, period. We love them. We know that you will love them as well. What everyone should have had an opportunity to do is watch the videos. I know Maniko's going to talk about that later. If you haven't had an opportunity to look at the videos on their class, please do. If you have any questions at all for any of our tutors, they're always approachable. Feel free to email them. Their email addresses are on our website. Woo! That means
take a breath.
I gotta take a breath.
Yay, Kim! You gotta take a breath and get some water.
Yeah, the kids tell me, Mrs. Kent.
Unfortunately, this is still you, Kim.
It's still me. Okay.
Yes, that's why I said take a deep breath.
So, but you know what? I love it because, honestly, we're right now talking about my heart. I mean, I have such a heart for what we are doing here. It really is. I think Nicole had once said, this is Kim's life's work. It really is. When the Lord called me to do this, he said, this is what I want you to do for the rest of your time here, to be on this planet and do this and minister in this way. So it's exciting for me. Our mission, and it says right there, and y'all can read, but I'm going to say kind of some and just let you know that what we're doing is we're here to partner with you. And we bring you the homeschooling family together with these amazing tutors. And what we do as Extension is we are literally an extension of your homeschool experience and your homeschool journey. And our goal, our heart has always been to come alongside you and help you fulfill the vision that the Lord has given to you for your kids in educating them, training them in the fear and admonition of the Lord, and training them with excellence. And you'll see that throughout tonight. We are all about, yes, leading and training the next generation of ambassadors of Christ, and at the same time doing it in such an excellent way, because we want to prepare these kids to go on and take over the world, regardless of where they are. If they're going to go to college, if they're going to go into industry, if they're going to go into service, if they're going to be owning their own business, we want to be part of. We believe it's our call to come alongside and make that a possibility. So our vision in that is to create a Christ-centered, Jesus is always ahead of everything that we do. As you see, we begin and end everything with prayer, and a grace-filled environment, a nurturing environment. And again, ours is a partnership. And Maniko and Nicole will talk more about what that partnership actually looks like. And again, as I mentioned, our goal is to help you, partner with you to help your kids go to whatever is next for them. Whatever is next for them. All right, let's see. Is that it? Am I done? Woohoo!
You
All
are
right.
done.
Okay, so it is my pleasure to help you to understand, if you don't already, and to reiterate for those of you who already know, the difference between a tutorial and traditional schooling. And then we'll talk a little bit more about, there's some other stuff that goes along with it. Oh, the umbrella part. Okay, so of course, although we do meet for group classes and there is a tutor for every class, a tutorial is not a school. And so you will find us throughout the program year and all the time that we're talking. We try not to use the word school year, although it's ingrained in all of us because it's the way we were socialized, right? But we try to use the word program year. We are very adamant that our tutorial is not a school. The classes are managed and taught by tutors. So originally the title of tutor came about, I think, by some early tutorial founders, because in Maryland, the parent has to be the responsible adult, the parents are the teachers. That came about as just some legalese language, but we truly believe that at eXtend that the tutors are here to present information, to introduce concepts, to create a fun and engaging learning environment, a hands-on active learning environment where the students can learn with other students and with another adult other than mom or dad in front, and which is important in a lot of aspects, especially when we get to high school. But we are just tutors. You are the primary educator. Parents are the primary educator, and you are completely responsible to the state for your child's education. So, sometimes we have situations where maybe the class is not going the way you expected. And this is not just at eXtend, this is everywhere, right? You may pay for a class and it might not be what you thought it was going to be, or not whatever was covered. You didn't want that to be covered, or you wanted something else covered. Whatever it is, you are completely responsible for your child's education. And so even with a tutorial, that you're not abdicating that responsibility to your tutors, is what I'm trying to say. And also, if there's anything not being taught or any adjustments that need to be made or anything that your child needs that the tutor doesn't know or doesn't pick up on, then that's your job to communicate that to us. And we'll talk a little bit more about communication as we go later. So the tutors assist parents by introducing the new concepts, and then the parents do the work. You purchase your own curriculum. The tutors provide the class structure, and we provide accountability, but the parents do the work with the students at home. So what happens on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is equally, if not more important than what happens in the classroom on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, it's very important for you to understand that the responsibility, the privilege of homeschooling your children still lies with you. And also, a tutorial is not an umbrella. So for those of you who are homeschoolers, who've already been homeschooling, you understand, especially in the state of Maryland already, you understand the concept, the difference between an umbrella and a tutorial. EXtend tutorial is not an umbrella. Some umbrellas have classes. Some, tutorials may offer oversight. I don't know. In some areas, there is some intersection. There isn't any. EXtend tutorial is not an umbrella. Now, with that said, our leadership team especially is very well versed in reviews and how to put together portfolios. Maniko may share something about this with you all later, about Mount Oak's umbrella, but Mount Oak's umbrella and Extend Tutorial are not one and the same. That means that you are still responsible for either reporting to the county or wherever you live, your county, or joining an umbrella and reporting to the umbrella according to their specifications. Extend Tutorial does not take responsibility for any reporting or any portfolio reviews or anything like that on your behalf. Okay, so hopefully that is clear. And you guys can always put questions in the chat if you have them, but it's better for us if you make a note for yourself and save them for later when we open up the questions and answers. That way we'll make sure we get to them.
Okay, it's my turn. I am here to discuss, it's my Nico, everyone, to discuss the program structure for Extend. And this is very important for you to understand, because in order for you to be successful in the program, you really need to know how we meet and why we meet and where we're meeting. So we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Your students are home with you. They are, as Nicole mentioned, being introduced on Tuesdays and Thursdays to concepts and skills by the tutors. And then on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they're home with you, and you are reinforcing those concepts, making sure that the student understands what was introduced, and just kind of staying on top of their work. Extend Homeschool offers 4 core classes for elementary, middle, and high school. We offer math, English, science, and history with a la carte scheduling. And so what that means is that you are not required to take every class in order to be a family with Extend Homeschool. You can take 1 class, you can take 2, you can take 4 if that meets your needs. There's some people who, like Nicole and I, like to joke around to say, and it's not a joke, right? But we say we will always pay for science. We are not science people, right? I'm not science. There's nothing about me that's science. So I would look for a science program. Well, at Extend, which, you are able to sign up for classes that you may not feel comfortable teaching your students. So if you're great with English, but you're not so great with math and science, then you may want to use our program to look at just math and science, where you would be the person that would teach English using whatever curriculum that it is that you want. So we are a la carte program. You do not have to register for all of our classes. We also offer a number of electives, which I'm really happy about. When I first joined this program, we didn't have those electives, so we were really kind of out looking on our own, which was fine because it gave us the opportunity to be social. But now the program offers a number of different electives. We have music, we have physical education and health. We're offering Spanish 1 and 2. Those are on the high school level. We also have that entrepreneurship class that you saw, and also technology elective. So this does not mean that we offer the same electives every year. Last year we did, or I'm saying last year like we're not sitting in the program year, but this year, as 21, 22, we offered music and art for the elementary and middle school students. And so next year we're doing music and physical education and health. So there's a lot of, you can have some variety in those electives that you may see us offer in the future. Also, homeschoolers in Maryland are still responsible for providing art. So though art is not something that we are offering this year, the state of Maryland still requires you to offer art for your students. So you would be responsible for making sure that your student has art. All of our tutors are background checked and Safe Sanctuary certified. These are requirements that Mount Oak has asked for us to utilize their building, but we have 2 buildings that we actually use. And I'm not sure if that comes up someplace, I cannot remember, but we have 2 buildings that we utilize. Our elementary and our middle school students meet at Mount Oak, which we've been for a number of years now. And then we have a wonderful, wonderful partnership with Judith Temple right down the road. Kim's little 2 minutes down the road. And that is where we have our high schoolers, where they take their classes there. We wanted to give the high schoolers a high school feel and give them a separate building so that they're not taking classes with a 2nd grader that's walking down the hall. Nobody wants to be a high schooler taking classes with the elementary school students. So we wanted to give them their space, and they have it over at Judah Temple, and that is where you will find Nicole during the day, and Kim, and you will find me at Mount Oak, kind of managing things, and then you will find Kim at both. Kim comes between both. So you will always see a leadership person, no matter what, on the days that your students are there or we are there in classes. So as I mentioned, Mount Oak also requires us, and also our program, just for the safety of our children, to be background checked. And that Safe Sanctuary is a certification that all of our tutors go through, in which they're given different scenarios. They understand how to be in rooms, with students, whether they're in the cars, whether they're in the parking lot. We go through all of those scenarios, so all of our tutors understand and can also put safety first for all of our students. So that is very important to us. The next, which is still me.
If I can just,
okay, so many of you.
Can I pop in
Sure.
one little thing for the
You want me to go
art?
back?
Well, yeah, no, you don't need to. But for the art,
Oh.
I know it says that that we're responsible for providing art. One of the things I think you also need to understand, and we can always help you with this, is that especially a number of our classes tend to be project heavy. And because of that, those projects actually are able to fulfill your art credit that you need to have. Now, this is on the elementary and middle. We're not talking about high school. That's a different story. But you can absolutely meet that requirement for art. As it's woven into things like science, for sure, as it's woven into things like history, definitely, maybe some English too, depending on what your student does for their quarter end projects. So just know that one of the reasons why we felt like, okay, it's okay that we don't do the art, because it is so interwoven in some of the other classes that we have. So okay.
Yes. Yep. So if you are here, hopefully you had to have come through our website, right? So hopefully you have already gone through everything on our website. Kim does a phenomenal job with the website. You hear me? She is like keeping that website updated and attractive. And, if we could get paid for everyone that visits our website, we would be great. That's what Nicole said one day. We could retire, right? But on our website, hopefully you've already gotten a chance to see our Tuesday and Thursday schedule for 22-23. It is there listed. You will see that we have all of our classes set up. We have a snack break from 10:30 to 10:55 in the fall. The students requested a longer snack break, so we gave them a little bit more time to socialize. This year, we were trying to get them out, snack, and get them back in the classes so we could be out of the classes and out of the building by a certain time, but they all requested a longer break, and so we fulfilled that. And so in the fall, you will see a longer snack break. So this is the schedule that many of you, if you are taking classes with us, this would be the schedule that you would depend on. This is the elementary and middle school class schedule. This will be the high school schedule that you will see as well. These are the classes that take place at Judah Temple. As you see, we have a number of classes, and I think altogether, even this year, we have about 175 to 190 students that we have between both locations. So I don't want you to think we have that many at Judah Temple or that many at Mount Oak, but between both those locations. And so all of our tutors do a wonderful job of accommodating those students, and so do our buildings. Also on here, you will see, and this is also found on our website, our 22-23 course descriptions. If you are interested in a class, we highly, highly recommend that you do everything possible to make sure you have all information you need before you sign up. Now, I know this is the scramble to try and jump into classes, and we get it, we understand, right? But if you have a chance, or please make some time to go through the course description. Every tutor has gone into this document. They put in their course, the description of their class. They put in the cost of our classes. Nicole will discuss that a little bit later, their supply fee. And then you will see right on our screen, you'll see each of the tutors have their own email address. It'll be their first initial last name at extendhomeschool.com. And then every tutor, or majority of the tutors, have completed class intro videos. This is your opportunity, instead of us taking our time with you tonight, to have each tutor explain what they do. And then, you get a chance to look at them. This is your time in your own relaxed environment to cut that video video on and really listen to what that tutor is doing in class. You'll see their personality, you'll see their organization, you'll see what they're thinking. You know, these are the ladies and gentlemen that will be in front of your students in the fall. So you really want to take some time to look at these class intro videos. They've done a wonderful job putting them together. So we wanted to just point out to where they are located. You will see those class intro videos under the course description document that you will find on the website that says curriculum and class and curriculum information. Am I correct, Kim? That's what it says, right? It's like class and curriculum on the website.
Yes, I think, yeah, in the classes and curriculum. That's the page.
Yes, yeah. The next thing I wanted to discuss is parent duty, So this is very, very important for you to understand. And if I'm talking too fast, please come back. We will post this video on our website. Please come back and pay attention to this form. And the reason why we wanted to make sure we put this in is because I've had a number of people that would say, oh, if I had known, maybe I would have made different decisions. Parent duty is essential to our program. It is essential. We need parents. We don't have a staff that's paid to manage, to make sure the kids are where they're supposed to be, they're transitioning throughout the day. We rely on parents. We know if you are homeschooling, you're either sitting at a table or working with your students at a co-op someplace where you're sitting in the room, you know, while other people are working, or at a tutorial. Or your kids are at a tutorial. And then during that time, you would come in and you could help us out. So parent duty is a tangible way for our families to make an investment into the program. Serving in this capacity helps us to foster community. It allows us to socialize. Our kids get a chance to socialize, see the parents, and your kids really want to see you walking in and up and down that building. Like I've had so many kids that are like, my parents is here. She's on parent duty. Yay, they're happy. What we want you to understand is that parent duty for us in the fall is only going to be served by a parent, the student's mom or dad. In the past, we know some people have said, can I have an aunt or an uncle? Can I have this particular person because my schedule is, not working? We need mom and dad in the building. Not that we're, we have nothing against our aunts and uncles showing and being supportive, but it's hard for you to invest in this program if you don't see the tutors as they're interacting with your students and the students interacting with each other, and then the leadership team walking through or running through. I'm not going to say walking, we're always running someplace, right? So you really need to be invested in this program and be in the building in order to understand what it is that we're doing and why your students are coming home saying they saw this person and this person did this and we discussed this in this room, and then you can see that. We want you invested in our program. All parents will serve 10 parent duty days from 7:45 a.m. to 2:00 p.m. We understand that number may seem like, wow, 10 days, but between a mom and a dad, or between a mom and you can, parse off your day, we can get those 10 days in. We're very confident that people who really want to be in this program will find those 10 days to be there. Mom or dad only, not aunt, uncle, grandma, or grandpa. Okay. Families with students taking one class in eXtend will serve 5 parent duty days. Remember, we're an a la carte program. So if you decide you just want to come for physical education, or your child is waitlisted in all classes except for music, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do music, and that's at least one class I can have my student in, then we're going to only ask you to serve 5 parent duty days from 7:45 a.m. to 2:00 p.m. And all of those days, those 5 days, must be served before the end of the first semester. So that's December. So if you decide I'm only going to do, or in your mind, you're going to do one class, your 5 parent duty days need to be served by December. Okay. Just because we want to make sure that you understand that. This is also a time where, like we said, you're investing and you're assisting tutors, you're assisting other parent helpers that are there. So we ask those that are on parent duty not to bring any work, not to bring anything else that you have planned, because we really need all of your attention focused on helping us make the day successful by sometimes needing to clean. Sometimes we grab parents on duty to sit in a class when a tutor has to run to the lavatory, or somebody had an emergency, they have to leave. Parent on duty will pop in and do a lot of that work. They go outside with the kids during snacks. So there's a lot of work that is involved in a parent duty day. Those of you that have been with us before, you understand, or have done other tutorials, you know what a parent duty day can look like. So come prepared to work. Don't come prepared to be pretty. Okay, I just want to say that. Come prepared on parent duty day with your sneakers, some jeans, or whatever you want, because you just never know what it is that you're going to have to do on that day. Okay, that's not to tell you don't do it, but I'm just saying it's just be prepared. If parents cannot serve their chosen date, they are responsible for finding a replacement or paying a $75 fee. We don't want you to pay the fee. We want you to be there. But in case you're not able to be there, then it is your responsibility. We will post a parent duty link. You will go in and sign up for your 10 days. And if something happens on that day or close to that day and you can't serve, then it is your responsibility to find someone. We will talk about our communication systems a little bit later in the presentation, but it'll be your responsibility. And then you would pay that person $75, okay, to serve in your place. All the way down at the bottom, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it says if parents cannot serve, children in the family are not allowed to come to the program. So if you can't make it, then the kids can't make it. And so what we don't want to do is have your kids there and then your children are benefiting off of someone else's service to the program. So if you're not able to make it, then we would ask that you keep the children at home, your students at home with you. Okay. Kim and Nicole, did you all want to?
Yeah, I need to jump in and just say two things here. So the first thing is, go back for a second, Monica.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
The first thing is we start from the bottom and work back up. The reason, so you all, something just for those of you who are new to our program, one of the things we just need you to know, especially those of you who did not do a tutorial with your elementary level kids, is that we learned very quickly when eXtend was Bridge Elementary, our very first year, that the tutorial with elementary families is a whole different ball game. It's a game-changing, paradigm-shifting experience. And a lot of the policies that we put in place, even if you've been a part of our program before and now you're coming back, because we see a few people who that applies to, a lot of our policies, just so you know, have been brought about by growing pains, okay? And so we learn something new every year, sometimes every month, and this year every week. Like, we learned something new. And so we're trying to address all those things because we really want to present a quality program, but we want a program that works for everyone who is a part of it. And one of those, the big part of it, as Maniko said, is parent duty. Okay. So another thing you all need to know is, when you do your parent duty, if you have smaller kids at home, if your smaller kids should definitely come with you. You should not feel compelled to get a babysitter to leave your smaller kids. Now, if you have a toddler and you think your toddler will be completely discontent, or they'll be in danger or something while you're cleaning or something to that effect, then you may want to find alternate arrangements for them. But for the most part, as homeschool families, we travel in packs. Everybody gets in the minivan and everybody goes where everybody's going. And so we entirely expect you to bring your other children with you on parent duty, so you don't have to worry about whether your other children are allowed to come. The other thing is, if you have children who are because our program is a la carte, if you have children who you would take home early or you bring them a little later, because parent duty is all day long, you don't have to pay for a drop-in study hall for your child for that day. You can just have them be with you, so they can go to their class and come be at the table with you, go to their class, be with you, as opposed to having to be in study hall for that one day. So hopefully that's clear. And if you guys have any questions, make sure you're jotting them down so that you can ask them during the Q&A. Okay. All right.
Okay, Nicole, this is you.
All right. So what you can expect from eXtend tutors. Okay. First of all, you can expect us to vigilantly follow the Safe Sanctuaries Child Protection Policy. Okay. So as Kim, excuse me, or Maniko explained earlier, Mount Oak, the United Methodist Church, Safe Sanctuaries is their like nationwide child protection policy, I think. And so, or at least the conference in this area. And we have found it to be a fantastic program. So not only is it required of us as we use Mount Oak space, but we require it of ourselves for every space that we occupy. And it's for the tutors' protection and for the students' protection, okay? Students and tutors will never be alone in a classroom, car, or any other closed area with students. We also try to keep students out of those areas alone without an adult supervision as well, okay? You can expect tutors to teach classes professionally. You can expect us to be prepared, to dress appropriately, to begin on time, and to treat all learners with respect. Okay, you can expect us to teach from an environment free of distractions, so that if we're for some reason at home because we're virtual, you can expect us to be fully present. And in the classroom, we try to make sure that we are fully present in the classroom at all times. You will find, I will just be honest with you about this, you will find that because Maniko, Kim, and I are also leadership, that sometimes people try to pull on us from every direction. We do our very best to stay focused and to delegate authority to somebody else to be able to take care of things that are going on around the building when we are teaching. And that's another reason why parent duty is so very important. You can count on us to provide course descriptions, curriculum lists, syllabi, parent letter, assignment sheets, quarterly grades, all of the things that make our program what it is on the administrative side. You can expect us to respond promptly to parent questions and requests, to create a safe and welcoming space for learners and families from all backgrounds and beliefs. We are distinctly Christian, but we do not exclude anyone. If you are content to be with us, we are glad to have you. Okay, we make every effort to ensure our classes proceed in the event that a tutor is unable to teach. So if we have an unexpected emergency, we arrange for subs. We make sure families know. We do as much communication with each other as possible so that we can, the other adults who are in the building when that tutor cannot be there, has scaffolded that class and scaffolded that sub to make sure that class goes off as close to as expected as possible. You can expect us to display Christ-like character in every situation, and to follow all established health and safety protocols for ourselves and our students. So as a parent, it is your expectation, we expect of you, it's your responsibility to serve as the primary teacher for your students for all state required courses. And we really are looking for one parent to be dedicated to homeschooling full time. If mom and dad homeschool at home, that's fine. But we really are looking for families to just think about having someone who is dedicated to your child full time. Someone needs to be helping the student Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Someone needs to be committed to doing parent duty. Again, if both parents are committed to that, that is fantastic. But we're looking for at least one to be responsible for homeschooling the children who attend our program. We encourage a minimum of 1 year homeschool experience before utilizing a tutorial, because it helps you to understand what homeschooling is. If you've done it at home or somewhere else, before you come to our tutorial, it just helps to build to have a baseline, to build a foundation of what tutorial actually looks like and what homeschooling looks like. So you don't have any questions about what's your responsibility versus someone else's, okay? We expect you to be an active participant. We talked about that, 10 parent duty days, 5 if you're only taking one class, to actively serve on a committee. So, our community can be really, it gets to be large, but we can be really active. We love getting together, enjoy each other's company. And the best way to do that is to have different committees working together. You can when you work in community on a committee, then you get to know the other families, your student gets to meet other children, and it makes the community that much more of a delightful place to be. We ask that every parent is to be a helpful observer when on tutorial grounds. So if you are here, whether you are on duty or not, if you're in the parking lot, we really appreciate it that you can see children who are on the field or in the parking lot, direct them around the traffic, direct the traffic, slowing around the children. If you're in the building, whether you're there for parent duty or not. So sometimes parents think, well, I'm not on duty, I don't have anything to say. This is a community, right? And we need each other. So we really want you to be a helpful observer whenever you're with us, reporting incidents, accidents, speaking respectfully to students, and helping us to run this program. We expect parents to fully read assignment sheets, instructions, and all communications provided by tutors. We don't know how to emphasize that anymore. We really need you all to read everything we put out, because we don't put out information just to put it out. We really are disseminating information that is very important. And 9 times out of 10, whenever a parent has come to us with a question, and that's not hyperbole, 9 times out of 10, whenever a parent has come to us with a question, we have already answered it in some communication. So we really ask parents to please read the communications. We are very, very happy to clarify, but we really ask that you all to please take your time and read the communications that we take our time to put out for you, okay? And also check email from the tutors and the leadership team regularly and respond promptly. If we're taking if we're putting forth the effort to teach your children and provide a program for your children, it's really important for us to be able to communicate with them. Okay, that's it for parent expectations.
Can I also jump in there, Nicole, when you mentioned the fully reading items, it's really important for everyone to understand that all the tutors, the leadership member, the leadership team, all the tutors, we are all homeschool parents. We all homeschool. So the reason why, as Nicole mentioned, we really need you all to pay attention to what's going out is that whenever we have to respond to something that's already been issued, that's taken away from our families, right? We have to work with our kids, just like we're asking all of these expectations are being placed on us as well as tutors. We are parents in the program as well. So in order for us to do our job, I don't really want to stop working with my kids to answer a question that's already been answered. So that's one of the reasons why that reading is so important for us. I just wanted to throw that out just to remind everyone that every one of our tutors and all the leadership team are all homeschool parents. Okay, let me see.
With very few exceptions.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. This is supposed to say student expectations. I apologize. Oh, no, this is the second. I'm sorry, this is the second screen, Nicole, for parents.
Right, yeah. Okay, so, and we also expect you parents, as this is your responsibility, to make sure your student is completing assignments to the best of their ability. It is not our job to say, come on, Johnny, you can do better than that. We do because we're nurturing and loving tutors, but honestly, the truth of the matter is, if your child consistently turns in work that is beneath their ability, the only way we know that it's beneath their ability is if they're fluctuating in what they're doing. But we are going to assume that you were with your child while they were doing their work. You've checked it. You've been a part of their experience at home. So we're going to assume that if they turned this in, you were happy with it. You understood that this is the work they did. And so there are a few exceptions to that. Sometimes parents are not paying attention. They don't notice. But for the most part, we even have parents who will send us an email and say, you know, he did not read this whole book, so his project is not going to be up to par, but I just want you to know that I'm aware. So we know that parents are working with their students. We just want you to know that we're expecting you to make sure they're completing their assignments, okay? We expect you to pay your tutors according to the stated schedule, which is provided by the tutorial, but also by the methods prescribed to the individual tutor. So each tutor will give you an electronic payment method, and they'll let you know what their non-electronic payment method is, by check or money order or cash, and we expect you to pay your tutors, okay? We expect parents to make sure students arrive at their classes on time and that when they come, they are prepared. So we want them, you don't want to come in late and be disruptive. We also want to make sure they have their backpacks, they have their school supplies, they have their work done. We expect parents, or we ask for parents to provide constructive feedback, questions, or concerns about your class directly to the tutor before contacting leadership with any questions or concerns. So we'll talk a little bit, I think, about Matthew 18 a little later, but that is our conflict policy, is we use Matthew 18. So we expect parents to go first to the tutor, okay? We're not the principal and vice principal of the school who calls the teacher in to have a conference. And I don't know. It's been a long. I taught kindergarten professionally, but that was a long time ago. My oldest child is 21 now. It's been a long time since I've been in school, so I don't really know how to handle all that. But I will tell you that at eXtend, we ask parents to talk to tutors first, and then if we get to an impasse, then we come in. But we try really hard to have the tutor and the parent work it out. Okay. Also, to utilize all community means of tutorial communications. We use an app called GroupMe, which we have 2 different GroupMe versions. One is the official, where we send out official information, and there isn't any back and forth on that one. And the other one is a community one, where we share all kinds of stuff, field trips and classes, and anybody have this book, and is anybody going to this thing? That's a community communication. We ask you to utilize those communications respectfully. And if you have any questions or concerns pertaining to the overall community, to please not then use that forum for that, because the only people who can solve community problems that are leadership, that need leadership's attention, is leadership. So we ask you to please send all those communications directly to leadership via email, okay? All right, is this also me?
This is also you.
Okay, just trying to make sure I got everything. All right, so we expect the students to work diligently with assignments in class and out of class. We expect them to help us care for our building spaces, both at Mount Oak and Judah Temple. We expect them to be positive and respectful of the tutors, their classmates, and themselves. We're expecting the students to be, we completely discourage bullying of any kind. So everyone on our campus treats others the way they want to be treated. That is our goal. And we know children will be children. So we guide them, we talk about it. We may call you to talk about it, but we discourage it of any kind, and we ask them to discourage it of their peers. We ask them to dress in a manner that is appropriate for class. eXtend does not have a dress code. We don't have specifics, about what you can and cannot wear. We're not measuring hemlines and all that kind of stuff. We don't have to do that. And this year, people think about that mostly with high schoolers. We've not had any problems this year. We're asking our students to continue to dress in a manner that is appropriate for class. And we're asking parents, while we're talking about this, for you to make sure your child is dressed in a manner appropriate for class. And when we say dress in a manner appropriate for class, we're talking about both boys and girls, okay? To display Christ-like character in every situation. So we want to live our lives in a way and present ourselves in a way that he will be pleased with, in a way that exemplifies Christ, and also to follow all established health and safety protocols. And that is everything health and safety. So whether we have COVID restrictions or not, anything that we've said as a health and safety protocol, whatever it is, those are the things we expect students to understand and to follow. Okay, so that leads us into what about COVID-19? Currently, all participants of eXtend tutorial provide weekly confirmation of a negative PCR test result. So just to give those of you who are not familiar with how we do this, we have a lab that comes to our location every Thursday. We do testing on Thursdays. They take the test back to the lab and they give us our PCR results. Not everyone is required to test with us on site, on site, but everyone is required to provide weekly confirmation. So we test on Thursdays for the week following. That is all students, all tutors, all parents on duty, any parent helpers, any person who comes into our buildings now are providing a weekly confirmation of a negative PCR test result. And by the grace of God, we have kept COVID numbers very low in our program. So weekly testing has worked for us. We follow all CDC, Mount Oak, and Judah Temple Church guidelines for meeting in person. And our protocol is that even if the CDC says something, if the church guideline is more narrow, then we follow the most narrow guideline, okay? Meaning if the CDC, let's say the CDC said there didn't need to be any masks, but the church said you have to have masks to be here, then we're masked, right? Excuse me. And if the church said no, but the tutorial says yes, like right now we're masked. So we're wearing masks. And okay, I see your question, Sarah, about COVID. I'm gonna talk about the test. And we continue to monitor the situation, evaluate our COVID policy with updates as needed. So to Sarah's question, she was asking, and I saw a part of it, she was asking if the weekly testing is going away, and we are following the science. So if it turns out that weekly testing is not going to go away by the end of this program year, so we will be weekly testing through May. We'll be wearing masks through May. We are doing what we are doing right now. We are doing it all the way through. What may change, what would change for testing for this year would be if the funding source, which Sarah, which this addresses your other part of the question, the funding source for our tests, the way the labs work, and this is how most of the labs work. I don't know one lab that doesn't work this way. The first thing they do is they approach your insurance, and if you are underinsured or uninsured, then they have funds from all kinds of COVID relief funding opportunities from the government that makes up the difference. So whether if your insurance will not pay for testing or if you don't have insurance, they tap into those funds. If your insurance only pays partially, then they tap into those funds. No family since the first week of classes has gotten a bill. Now you may get an explanation of benefits from your insurance saying, hey, we got billed this from this lab, but the lab itself will not bill you that amount that your explanation of benefits says may be due to the provider. That is only your insurance telling you what's going on. We don't know if masks are going to be required next year, Pam. We're still going to decide. We're going to continue to monitor the situation, and we're going to evaluate our COVID policy with updates as needed. We would love to tell you now what that policy is going to be in the fall, but we just can't. Okay? Yeah. And Extend Homeschool has no vaccine requirement. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Nicole, can you just give a quick example of how we had to turn around quickly with the no testing to testing?
How we had to, I'm sorry, ask your question.
Yeah, we started the year. So we can, and I think this is one of, when Nicole mentions we continue to monitor the situation. When we walked into the program year, we were not weekly testing. That was what I'm talking about, Nicole. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then we saw the numbers, and we had a population that at that time was not able to be vaccinated, right? So for us, because our population, we had little kids, our babies, they couldn't be vaccinated, and we had to come up with the idea. One of our parents came to us because she was at a different tutorial and said that they were doing weekly testing, and we thought that's a great idea, but we had already started the program year. And so we sat down, decided weekly testing, was the way to go. We had a meeting with all of the parents to explain to them what it is that we were doing. Some of them understood, some of them didn't necessarily, but they stayed on board. They were team players, and a couple people were like, no, we don't want to do it, and which is totally understandable. You can make that decision. It's your family. You can decide what it is that you want to do. But so sometimes you will see, or what we have found, as Nicole said, we're learning every day, but we can walk into a situation thinking that we're going to do one thing, and it completely changes. We find ourselves having to do something different. So you will find that whatever is best for our community, not just Kim, Nicole, and Maniko, whatever is best for the community and for the safety of our kids is the direction that we will always take especially when it comes to COVID.
And also I want to just reiterate too, that part of our responsibility as leadership is making these decisions. So those of you who are here that you know us, y'all see what time, it's nothing for us to send out an email at 1:00 in the morning. It's nothing for us to send out an email at, we've been up all day and into the night making COVID decisions. And the reason we do that is not because we're up late making decisions, it's because we're pouring over the information. We are gathering all the latest everything, and we have to address COVID like everybody else does as the pandemic grows and changes. So whatever the virus is doing, whatever the current protocols are and safety measures and whatever is going on, mandates, all of that, we are addressing them in real time as much as possible. But I said all that, I mentioned that 1 a.m. thing just for an example. I think that one email came out at 2, and we were literally on the phone that night till that time working through those details. And that's another reason why we wanted to make sure you all understand that it's really important to read the information that we put out, because if we've been up for hours processing, policy and going through it and vetting it with all kinds of, we have a resident public health person and all the things that we're doing, we don't pay anybody for that. We don't have a staff person for that. We want you all to please remember that we are homeschool moms who for the most part volunteer for these positions. And so it's really important for you all to make it your responsibility to understand what it is that we're saying and make sure you are clear about it. And by all means, ask questions whenever you have them, but be diligent about reading the information. I saw a question about whether the vaccine requirement will change for next year. And the answer to that is no, not unless for some reason, some worldwide something happens. And the only way we can survive that variant, you know, it'll be some magnanimous thing. But for now, we don't see that changing. Okay.
This is you, Nicole. This is it. This is it, Nicole.
Ooh, I'm talking and talking. Okay, registration and building fees. All right, so, and how you pay for classes. Registration is $55 per student for the first 3 students, and the 4th or more students are free, okay? The 22-23 building tech fee is staying again at $45 per family. We're excited to continue to keep that price, that amount very low. It's just been we've been blessed, and it's been a blessing for us to be able to keep that amount very manageable. You know, some tutorials have very, very high building fees, and our building fee helps us to pay the building fee that we are charged to use the buildings, to take care of all of our management costs, all of our operating costs, and also a tech fee we use because we have access to Zoom, Google Classroom, all kinds of other technology that we provide. So our fee is $45, and that's not due until August. Registration fees will be paid at the time of registration, and they're paid directly through Coursesio. So if you were with us before and you're used to getting your paperwork done and choosing your classes and then going to pay for your classes via PayPal, we don't have any of that. No middleman, straight through Coursesio this time. So that's where you'll pick your classes. That's where you'll make your payments. That's also where you'll make your building and tech fee payment. And if you want to make it now at the time of registration, it's available to do, but it's not, that part is not due until August. Okay, so really important to note is that tuition payments are made directly to the class tutor. So unlike some other programs where the payment comes to the administration or leadership and the leadership pays the tutors, that's not how eXtend works. Tutor payments are made directly to the tutor. Information about tuition payments is located on that classes and curriculum page. It tells you how much the classes are. It tells you when, I'm pretty sure it tells you when the payments are to be made. And we do not accept any payments for any classes. All monies go directly from parent to tutor, okay? All go from parent to tutor. I'm sorry to chat through my, right after this meeting, Lavinia. Okay, so what's very important to know before we change this slide is that all payments, registration, building and tech fee, and tutor payments are non-refundable. If you pay it, it's non-refundable. Okay, so all payments are non-refundable. And I know it doesn't, that, you know, people, you think I should be able to, they're not. All payments are non-refundable. So please be sure that the money that you're paying, you want to pay it before it leaves your hands or your device. Okay.
Okay. Oh, wait, what happened?
We went to the next tuition slide.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
That's not next?
Yeah, this is next. I just don't know.
This is next.
Yeah, okay, that's it. I'm sorry, that's it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I think I was so used to seeing the red that I was like, wait.
Yeah. Okay,
So my computer.
So class tuition is paid directly to the tutor by the parent. We've said that. The annual tuition for all elementary and middle school classes is $325 per class. So when we say classes, we mean the core 4. If there are elective classes, if they meet once a week, they're $175. So that would be your music. And I guess I think the PE, they'll meet once a week. Those are $175 on the elementary and middle school level. Okay. Annual tuition for high school classes is $350 per class, except we're indicated. We have some classes where some high school classes that are a little bit more expensive for a couple of different reasons. And so that is explained in the video by the tutor or on the curriculum, on the sheet, on the course description sheet. It tells you that the classes may be a little bit more. I just give you one example. If you register for one of my classes, that's a history and lit combination. If you're just doing literature, it's $350. If you're doing both, it's $450, I think. Right now, I'm not remembering that. So anyway, either way, it's on the course description sheet. A payment of $30 is due to each class tutor by April 10th. April 10th. So please put that date in your calendar. April 10th is when your deposit is due. Okay. Remember, we don't accept any April tutor payments. You register, pay your building fee to us, and that April 10th $30 deposit goes to your tutors, and that's what holds your student spot in the class. After April 10th, tutors let leadership know that they have this child and that child on their roster, but did not receive a deposit. We assume that by not paying your deposit, that means you no longer want that spot and your student loses their spot in the class, okay? Okay. Okay, and then here's the way we accept payments. Here's the way payments are to be paid to your tutors when you are enrolled in eXtend tutorial. So you have three options. You can pay one payment that will be due June 10th. Remember, you paid your deposit in April. So this payment is the total cost of tuition less the $30 deposit. So $270 for all, $270 for all elementary and middle classes, $320 or whatever the tuition is. If you're in one of those classes that has a different tuition rate, it's $320 or whatever that tuition is minus the $30 deposit for high school classes, and then $145 for the elementary and middle school electives. So basically it's the tuition minus your $30 deposit. Or you could pay two payments. One is due in August and one is due in November. And those two payments.
I'm sorry. This is supposed to be December.
Yeah, that should be
December.
August and December.
August, it should be due June 10th. I apologize, everyone. This is my mistake. I should have changed the date, but it should be one payment is due June 10th, and then the two payments is June 10th and September 10th. Right. And then the three payments is June 10th, September 10th, and December 10th. I apologize. I'll make sure I fix that. I think it is correct on the website. It's correct on the website.
Yes, so it is correct on the website. So just, disregard, but just so you see, it's June 10th and then September 10th. And then if it's three payments, it's June 10th, September 10th, and December 10th. June, September, December. Yes. Okay. And so I also want to add, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, Nicole. That first payment, everyone should keep in mind, will also include whatever supply fee your tutor has. Every tutor will have a supply fee, and that cost will be included in that first payment as well. Right. So that's this special start area down here. Your June 10th payments will include the tutor specified material fees. So sometimes tutors do lots of copying for their class. They may be making lab books or some other kind of thing. Your science classes will have lab fees. Those fees are due on June 10th with that first payment. Okay. Late payments are assessed a $30 fee per student per class payable to the tutor. I know that sounds astronomical to some of you, but remember that our payments are not monthly. So the third it's not $10 per month, which some people are used to. It's $30 per student per class payable to the tutor. Again, something we know that we learned to do because of growing pains. Okay. And also all tutor payments are non-refundable. So if it leaves your hands, it's gone. We don't refund payments for several reasons. And if anybody needs to get into that specifically, you can ask us. Okay. Okay, thank you, Nicole. You did such a great job.
Yay, Nicole!
I know. Yay, Nicole. That was a monster.
That was a monster. Okay, that was a lot. Okay, so mine is easy. I think I'm only doing this section, right? Is that your curriculum list? Oh, Maniko, do you have a picture of the curriculum list?
Yeah.
Yes, excellent.
Yes, it's the next screen.
Wonderful. So purchasing curriculum. Remember, your homeschoolers, in this tutorial, you purchase the curriculum. And as you see here right now, this is on our website. In the classes and curriculum, there's a little button that shows you what curriculum each tutor is asking you to purchase for their classes. Okay.
I'm gonna
And
jump
so
back.
you'll go on, yeah. So you'll go on to, this is an example, this is one picture right there. And curriculum is available in a number of places. If you go to Amazon, I'm going to encourage you, make sure Amazon is a great place, by the way, to get your curriculum. Just make sure you know your prices, because sometimes, every once in a while, Amazon will have a crazy price for a thing. You're like, wait a second, I can do way better if I go to Rainbow Resource. I can do way better if I can go to Christian Book. I can do way better because I don't necessarily need to have it new. um so Amazon, Rainbow Resource, also for some of these, and you'll see this as well. I almost want to go back and forth between the
Okay, I can go.
on the slide that has a curriculum list. You'll also notice for some things, for example, this Shirley Grammar, that's a consumable. That means your students are going to be writing in that. So therefore, you're not going to want to get that used where somebody's already written into it. That's something you're going to want to purchase new. However, things like teachers' manuals, things like workbooks. I know you'll see this in some things that are like textbooks. I'll give you an example. I teach in 8th grade, and in Algebra 1, we're using Saxon. Those are textbooks. I always recommend that you get those used. You can get those used on Amazon. Again, check your prices. You can get those used on other websites such as, let's flip back again. It's almost like in church, right? Where the pastor's like, go to this church, now go back to this one, now go back to the other one, right? But groups like but websites such as Homeschool Classifieds, that's a great place to get used curriculum. We have a group me. If you're currently with us right now and you're in our community, you know that community group me, as Monique was talking about, everybody posted that. It's like a whole thing. It literally is just an understanding of how much of a community and a village we are. But there are people that'll post, hey, I got a kid that's graduating. If somebody needs like 5th grade curriculum, come connect with me. There is an eXtend homeschool curriculum marketplace on Facebook as well. Another place too, and I'm kind of throwing this out there even though we don't have a slide for it, but later on in June, we usually do the used curriculum fair. That's another place to get used curriculum. But again, that's for the used. For the things that are consumables, you're really going to want to purchase those new. And there you would go to Rainbow Resource, which is good. Christian Book is wonderful. They always have sales. You can always get free shipping on there as well. There are some things that, because even like for, what is it, for the Abeka community helpers, that's an Abeka thing. You don't necessarily need to go to a curriculum display. You can get that from christianbooks.com as well. All right, I think, is that it for me?
That's it.
Is that it for me?
Now it's back to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move. I'm gonna try and move closer to some of our communication. So all of our students in both at Mount Oak, everyone in eXtend utilizes Google Classroom and Zoom. So tutors will determine and communicate the extent to which Google Classroom is used for face-to-face and virtual learning. We have some tutors who utilize Google Classroom as their main means of communication, right? Now, we have mentioned earlier, we mentioned assignment sheets. I don't have a picture of an assignment sheet. I think I've had it in the past, but many of the tutors will issue assignment sheets. And that is a sheet that you will get that will outline for the week what your student will be doing in class. So they will, so the assignment sheet itself may say like right now we're in week 21. We're starting week 21 this week. So it'll say week 21 on Monday, at home, your students should be doing blah, blah, blah. On Tuesday, they're in my class and we'll be doing blah, blah, blah. And then on Wednesday, so it kind of gives you a rundown of what the class looks like. Many of the tutors utilize the assignment sheets to communicate their work. Many of the tutors utilize Google Classroom. I'm a person that utilizes Google Classroom for my work. Everything that I do is in there. I accept work, I issue work, I post things, I post assignments, I post communication to my students and their parents. So we utilize Google Classroom in order to be able to do that. Now, what is very important for those of you who may be new to a tutorial is that you have to keep in mind that if you sign your kids up, or you have 2 children and you sign them up for all the core classes and then they have PE, you are looking at maybe 10 Google Classrooms. Okay, there's 10 Google Classroom. This is the reason why we emphasize reading and staying on top of your children. This is why someone has to be full-time watching what your student is doing, because it is a lot to manage. Brand new people to this program or to a tutorial that utilize different tutors Always it's that learning curve to, understanding what tutor does what and where can I find information and is it posted here? And, so you just take that into account. You will have a lot to go through and kind of like surf through information wise when you sign up, a number of your students in a number of classes. Just remember, every one of those classes will have its own Google Classroom, and every tutor, because you are contracting separately, that's why you are paying the tutor directly, not the program. Every tutor will do it differently. They will explain to you how they're using Google Classroom in their parent letter or on their syllabus, but just know Google Classroom is our main means of collecting and distributing work and activities for the students. All the students will receive an eXtend email address to access classes. So just like you saw on our class listing, our tutors, all of our tutors have eXtend.com email addresses. Every student will receive an eXtend.com, eXtendHomeschool.com email address as well. That is what they have to have in order to access Google Classroom, in order to access our Zoom calls, if we happen to be going to virtual for whatever reason. Your student cannot use a regular Gmail account in order to go into those Google Classrooms or in order to utilize some of what it is that we have to offer. They have to have the Google eXtend. Parents will not receive an email account, okay? Which is why you have to stay on top of your students. For instance, in my phone, I have my email accounts, my eXtend accounts. I have my oldest son's email account. I have my youngest son email account. And I could just pop into their Google Classrooms because I have the accounts on my phone or on my computer. As a parent, you are the ones that will go into, you have to utilize your students' eXtend email address, which we give to them in August. So that they can go into the Google Classrooms, or that you can begin reading or communicating with your tutor. Parents will use their students' email addresses to enter the classrooms. Like I said, parents will not receive their own email address. And we do still utilize Zoom for virtual learning in the event that we cannot meet in person. Many times we don't know whether we are able to meet. At one time we had discussed some missionaries may be coming to Mount Oak. That would be a time where we may need to go virtual. Or something is happening at Judah Temple. That's a time we may need to go virtual. When we saw the Omicron hit the area, we decided to go virtual for a couple of days. Zoom is our way of doing that. The students are familiar with it. All the tutors are familiar with it as well. So we make sure that we have a platform that everyone can seamlessly move from face-to-face to online learning. So Zoom has been a wonderful blessing for us. And we'll just continue to utilize it.
Let me interject. I'm sorry, my camera's off. Let me interject something about Google Classroom really quickly. So Maniko mentioned that the students will receive a eXtend tutorial, eXtendHomeschool.com email address. So mine would be nicole.green@eXtendHomeschool.com if I was a student. And parents don't get that email address, but the way you can, if you want to go into the classroom and actually see all the activity going on for your student in their classroom, you have to go through their classroom, through their email address from their end. But parents do have access to something that Google Classroom provides called Guardian Summaries. I highly recommend Guardian Summaries. The Guardian Summaries, you can set up the frequency by which you get them. I think you can get them monthly or weekly. The Guardian Summary will tell you if there is a missing assignment. The Guardian Summary will tell you the grade from the assignment for that week. The Guardian Summary will say, in Mrs. Green's grammar comp class, this is what your child did this week. The Guardian Summary gives you that glimpse so that you can have it quick at a glance without having to go into their classroom. And I know when it comes to high schoolers, we think we want to let them be a little bit more independent, which we do, and that's a good thing as they move their way toward adulthood and college and emerge, right? We call our kids emerging adults. But it's also still important. They still need our accountability, okay? So the Guardian Summary helps you to be able to provide that accountability.
There are, so if you have not, if you can't tell by now, we love to communicate. Kim, Nicole, and I, we are the best communicators. I'm sound like that. And so we offer up, because we love to communicate so much. We're doing such a, I mean, we're doing, I would say, I think we do a better job now. When we first got started, y'all, this conversation tonight could go till 10 o'clock and we would be really okay with it. But we have a number of different ways in which we communicate as a community. So you will find leadership will issue emails, and because everyone utilizes communication differently, right? I am more of a text person, and I tell people that if you want to really reach me, you can text me. Other people are more emails, you know. So we wanted to make sure that we had a way to communicate to everyone that worked for them, you know, as a parent. So we do issue emails. You will see leadership will issue emails. We also have the group me, as you heard us mention a couple of times in this conversation. We, as Nicole said, we have an official group me where it's just Nicole, Kim, and myself, you know, announcing something. We're putting something out. We're the only people that are discussing or making an announcement. And one of the reasons we did that is because the community group me can be very active, which is wonderful. And so we don't want announcements that the families need to know about to get lost, right? Between conversations of field trips and what people are doing on the weekend and happy birthday to somebody, right? So we have the official group me that's going to come from leadership, or messages come from leadership. And then we also have the community group me, in which we encourage everyone to go on, like you've heard us say, and they all, you know, having conversation and chat and different things like that. We also have the Google Classroom. That's another way for students to be able to communicate with the tutors, for parents to be able to communicate with tutors. And though we don't encourage it, but students are able to send messages to each other as well on that Google Classroom. So we also have phone and text. More text, we use Remind. And if you sign up with that, we will issue text messages. So if you're a person that's like, I really don't want to be in that community on GroupMe, but I still want to get everything, then we send out text messages for things that are important or things that you need to know. So you can sign up to do a text message. You can get the email. You can decide GroupMe works for you or it doesn't. You know, you can contact during Google Classroom. Number of different ways that you can communicate and make sure that you are staying abreast of what is going on, because that is very important. You will not see us calling you going, hey, did you see the email that came out at 2 o'clock in the morning? Hey, did you get the email that, you know, we issued about COVID? Did you see that? We cannot contact everyone to say, did you see it? So it's important for you to figure out what is your best means of communication and sign up in that direction, okay? Now you will also see office hours on here. Office hours are important because, like I mentioned earlier, our tutors are moms. Leadership, we're moms. We have families. We have husbands that we're taking care of. Those are husbands that are on the call. You know, you want your wife taken care of. We have husbands, we have kids, we have families. And so the tutors will do a really nice job of attempting to set boundaries. We all know how important boundaries are, right? To ask you or to indicate to you when the best time to reach them will be, because they have to take care of their kids. They're tutoring and taking care of their kids. So you will see many of the tutors will say, you know, please reach out to me during this time. Personally, I'm a person that Kim and Nicole know. I try to go offline on Fridays at 4 o'clock. That's normally my time. And I try to come back online on Mondays if I can pull it off. Sometimes I can't help and I'm texting somebody something, right? But that's really kind of my office hours. I mean, on the outside, that's my personal time. And you will find many of the tutors have that as well. So that's what office hours on the slide means. So you want to check with your tutor to find out their preferred mode of communication and availability. Every tutor isn't an emailer and every tutor isn't a texter. So you want to make sure that you are communicating with them, because like we said at the bottom, tutors are homeschoolers too. Hanley, this is you, Nicole.
Okay. So I mentioned earlier about our Matthew 18 conflict resolution policy. And again, we have grown in this so much, and we have, you know, we have grown as individuals with this. The whole community has. We have grown as the leadership has grown as a team with this. And so we do our very best to approach conflict resolution biblically. And what this applies to student, parent to parent, parent to tutor, tutor to leadership, everybody, all levels of communication, any kinds of contact, of conflict. But also it's not, sometimes it's not conflict. Sometimes it's just needing clarity, needing to work something out. Sometimes it's just, I didn't understand that, or we need to make a different choice. It's not always conflict in the sense of, of negative conflict. So I want to make sure we understand that sometimes it's just about needing to have a conversation, right? But we approach it biblically according to this Matthew 18 verses 15 to 16. Here we have it in the ESV. If your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. If he listens to you, you have gained your brother. Praise the Lord, right? But if he does not listen, then take one or two others along with you, that every charge may be established by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. So we ask you to go to each other first, come directly to whoever the conflict is with first, and then leadership will be glad to come in and kind of try to approach it. I'm going to be the first person to say, we have not always done this perfectly. We created this program, we put our heart and soul in this program, and sometimes we jump in. But we always, thank God, there's the 3 of us are really good about trying to keep each other accountable to saying, don't jump yet, let them handle it, right? There are also times when parents or maybe a tutor even feels like we should have jumped in sooner, but we don't. We really try to get you all to work it out first. We tell parents a lot, go talk to your tutor, go talk to your tutor, go talk to your tutor, and then we'll come in. So we want you to know that this is our plan, this is our goal, right? Our heart is to handle things biblically according to Matthew 18. And if anybody has any questions about how that works out in real life, other than us just telling you, go talk to your tutor, that's really what it is. If children are having a conflict on the playground, we bring them together. If children are having a conflict on the playground and parents feel like they get involved, we make sure the families get together. But we try to do that. We try to encourage that without being a part of it, okay? And then we come in when we need to. So we don't take on other people's offenses. We don't have a bunch of gossip. We try to eliminate all of that because our goal is to have a Christ-like program in everything, in every area. That's our goal, okay?
Okay. Kim.
Okay. Oh, I'm talking about grades. Am I talking about grades?
Yep.
Talking about grades.
Yep.
I guess I'm talking about grades. Okay. So here's the thing about these grades. I don't mind talking about them because, listen, y'all, those of y'all who are with us know that Friday is the end of quarter 3. Okay. So here's the thing. Comar does not require grades for homeschool reviews. And those of you who have done reviews, everybody should have, that they just need to be able to demonstrate regular, thorough instruction. We make it easy for you because for example, a number of our classes, they've got tests they can produce. If you got enough paper going on, pictures of projects going on, you got plenty. In a tutorial setting, generally speaking, and I know for a fact for us, absolutely, without a doubt, there is enough that happens every week for you to be able to demonstrate in especially if you are doing your part, as we do our part, if you were doing your part, you have more than enough to be able to demonstrate for your reviewer regular, thorough instruction in the required content areas, okay? So that being said, you're not going to need grades, although they're very helpful when you do your review. Here's the thing though, we, meaning leadership and your tutors, do pay attention to those grades. Now, again, you can do with them. You don't need them for your review, but we look at them as a function of, is this program working for you? Okay. So for example, let's say you have a student, I'm just hypothetically throwing it out there. You have a student is doing no work, not doing anything. They're just kind of, I don't want to use my husband's expression, but they're just kind of sitting in there in the chair and that's it. Well, then there's a really good chance that this program is not working for you. And therefore we would say to you, you know what? This isn't working. So maybe you need to look at something else. And we'll be more than happy to help you find something else that may work a little better and meet your child's needs. Because the reality is that if you're not doing regular instruction with your student, then we're not helping. This is not helping. So from that standpoint, that we look at them just to say, is this program working? Now, granted, there are extenuating circumstances. Sometimes just stuff happens and life happens. That is, I would say, an event versus a pattern. Okay. So I want to make sure that we distinguish, because like I said, we are a grace-filled environment. We understand that life happens, stuff happens. Okay, well, that's where the communication happens between tutor and parent to say, hey, listen, we had to go out of town, we had something go on, so this is going to happen. Okay, but that's where all that communication happens. Okay, so again, so that's just to say, there is grace, there definitely is grace, and at the same time we look for things to decide to take a look and say, is this, to make an assessment, is this a pattern or is this an event? And that will play into, should you be going on even to the next level? Because, for example, some things are built upon, especially math, is built one on top of another. So if you have a student that is really, really struggling in a grade, we're not going to, we're not going to be the school system. I hate to put it out there like that, but we're not. Where the school system would just go, oh, just go ahead and pass them along. No, 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 no. If we need to take a step back or do a little something different, or maybe do something differently for that student, that is the beauty of homeschooling. You can do something differently to help your student along. Okay. So with all of that, there's a quarterly report at the end of the quarter. That's the beauty also of Google Classroom, because literally you as a parent, if you're in Google Classroom looking at your students' grades, look at how their progress, I'm going to say really their progress in Google Classroom, then you already know how your student is doing. That's one of the beauties, again, of having that Google Classroom. You can pop in and go, oh, okay, I see this is missing. Those guardian summaries let you know, oh, Samuel needs to turn this thing in. Samuel, I need you to turn that thing in. Okay, mom. And they go turn it in and they keep on rolling. Okay. I will say that each tutor sets their own standard of what they will do in terms of what's their late policy, what do they consider, you turning stuff in, or how they want things turned in. So we're always going to tell you to go back to the individual tutor, because that is a tutor's class. The tutor really is letting you know, these are their standards, these are their requirements. And so you always want to go back to that individual tutor. One thing I will say as well, please, please, please recognize that our tutors, all tutors are different people that do things differently. So one of the things we want to caution you about doing is, just because, Mrs. Green does this thing, Mrs. Kemp might not do that thing, or Mrs. Kemp might do this thing and Mrs. Green, please try to avoid the tendency that we have of comparing what tutors do and using that as the experience. Every tutor is different, just like every child is different. Okay. So again, that's all to say. Is that all I have to say about that? I think that's all I have to say about that.
I wanted to clarify, Kim, you said that how we use grades to determine compatibility with the program. Yes. I just wanted to make sure it didn't get lost that you may not, that we also may say, tutors may say, well, your child didn't pass or got C's or I don't know, D's or F's in, let's say, 8th grade grammar and comp, so they probably shouldn't move on to 9th grade grammar and comp. That doesn't mean that you can't move your child to high school and do a 9th grade program with them, but what it does mean is that if your child was not successful with Maniko's 8th grade class, he or she may not be successful in mine. So we have those kinds of conversations with you, just so you know what you can expect there. Okay. Reviews. Is that me?
No, that's Kim.
Okay.
Let me unmute. So again, just to reiterate what Nicole said earlier, eXtend is not an umbrella. But again, one of the beauties is that we do provide, especially again, we do our part, you do your part. It's a partnership. If you're doing your part on this, you'll have more than enough documentation that you need to assist you in demonstrating regular thorough instruction to whomever it is that you report, be it through an umbrella or be it through the county. Ultimately, again, you, the parent, are responsible for making sure that your student is getting what they need, and in a manner that you'll be able to go before whomever it is doing your review and say, yep, I've been doing regular thorough instruction. Okay. And please understand that just Tuesdays and Thursdays all by themselves is not regular thorough instruction. Remember, we only have your child. Listen, if your child is only taking one class, okay, that's only 55 minutes every week. That's less than 2 hours a week. Less than 2 hours a week for 28 weeks is not regular thorough instruction. You need to follow up with something at home. something. That's why that having that other parent that's supporting that child at home, or whoever that other adult is that is supporting that child at home on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, on those off days when we're not doing tutorial, is so important. Now, you may have some kids that get it all done in one day. Yay, that's great. But I'm just letting you know, again, if you're only relying on your student coming to a class on Tuesday and Thursday and thinking that's enough, I'm here to tell you that's not regular thorough instruction. Okay. All right.
Okay, here we are. I am at the get to the nitty gritty. Now, I want you to know the classes that you have that you see here. I was supposed to update them, and that's something else I didn't, but I am able to tell you which classes are closed and are waitlisted. So if you just, I'm going to go through the list quickly because we wanted to let you all know, and then I will give you the instructions that you need for registration tonight as soon as we are finished. So here are the classes that are currently closed or waitlisted. I'm saying closed and waitlisted. And what that really means is that when you go on, you will see there's no more spots for this class, but there's a waitlist button and you still click the waitlist. Well, I'll explain that to you. So currently right now, all fourth grade core classes are waitlisted. Fourth grade English language art, fourth grade math, fourth grade science, and fourth grade social studies are all waitlisted. So if you have a fourth grader, please keep that in mind. Sixth grade English and language art and science are waitlisted. But that, and I'll explain the whole, I'll talk about the waitlisted again. So that's sixth grade English and language art and science are waitlisted. So seventh grade civics. Yes.
I'm sorry, you're saying so we can disregard this list right here?
Yes, please disregard this list. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back so you don't look at it and get yourself confused. Look at the county reviews while I'm telling you which classes are. So that was sixth grade ELA and science, seventh grade civics, which is history, our history core, and ELA are all waitlisted. Eighth grade ELA, science, and economics, which is our history, is waitlisted. For high school, the American History and American Lit class is waitlisted. The Computer Application and Digital Technology class is waitlisted. The Entrepreneurship class is waitlisted. The World History class and World Lit class is waitlisted. The elementary music, the music class for elementary right now is waitlisted, and the PE for middle school is waitlisted. Now, that's not for you to go, oh, well, she named my class, and so now what am I going to do? What I would encourage you to do is to still sign up under the wait list. If you see the wait list, still put your child's name on it, because there's the August 10th payment. People who don't make the August 10th payment will be removed from the class.
You mean April 10th?
There will be a number of people.
10th. You mean April 10th?
I'm sorry, April 10th. Okay, yes, April 10th. I apologize. That April 10th payment, those that do not pay their deposit will be removed from the class. So that opens up for those on the wait list to be included in the class. There'll be a number of families that may move or change their mind on what they're going to do as far as the program is considered, and then they would be removed from the class. We would pull from the wait list. Then there are also families that will decide maybe sometime over the summer, oh, I looked at this, we already took this. Instead of my child taking this class, I'll take this different class, or we might go to a different program because they're offering something that we need, and then we will pull from the wait list. So please do not count yourself out. Put your child's name on the wait list, because there have been times that we have pulled full wait list groups because so many people have made different decisions or have decided, oh, for whatever reason, the program for this year is not going to work for me. Okay. And now on to the second bullet on the screen. So don't ignore the first part. I explained to you the classes that are waitlisted. When we open up the link tonight, right after this call, you must pay your family registration before choosing classes, okay? You need to pay that family registration before choosing classes. All classes without registration payments will be dropped. We do not accept checks. As Nicole mentioned, payment is right there through Corsesio, and I'm gonna walk you through what you're supposed to do, okay? So you need to pay registration tonight and sign up for classes. Or sign up for classes, pay your registration. As long as registration is paid tonight, your classes won't get dropped or your student's name won't be dropped out. Any 8th grade students that are attempting to register for high school classes must first have tutor approval. We have a number of 8th graders that we know may be a little bit more mature or may want to tackle onto a different subject. That's fine, but our high school classes are reserved first for our high schoolers. They are receiving credit for those classes. We want to make sure that they have the classes that they need. And then if you are interested, you have an 8th grader and you think your 8th grader could go into that class, we tell you we ask you to contact that tutor to receive approval before being put on. If you put yourself in the class without approval, we will remove you from that class. Also, I have down here, what does free mean? Let me see if I have my picture up so I can explain. Oh, it does. I don't. So what'll happen is when you go in, not only will you see wait list, but you will see free on the side. It does not mean that the class is free. It just means that in Coursera, we are not asking you to pay to be in the class. You will be paying the tutor directly. So you're not paying for any of those classes tonight. Once you register, tutors will reach out to all the families with all of the information that you need in order to make the payment. So when you see free, don't assume that's, oh, I got a free class. That's not it. It's just that Coursera is not asking you to pay tonight. When you go into Coursera, you click the link. Coursera is the software that we use for registration. When you click the link, you're going to see two, because I don't have a picture of them. I should have had a picture of it. I apologize. But you will see two options. You're going to see family registration, and then you're going to see the facility and tech fee. That's the $45 that Nicole mentioned. You don't have to pay that facility and tech fee tonight. It's not due until August, but you do need to click that first registration button. When you click that first registration button, you're gonna see this screen, okay? It's gonna ask you for student information. It's gonna ask you for additional information. In this first box where it says full name, we need to put the parent name. Coursera would not allow us to change that to say parent name. We don't need the student's name. Where it says student information, full name, this is underneath the registration, okay? You're gonna put your name. Then you'll add your email address. Please add in that phone number box, that is your cell phone that you can receive text messages. That's very important because as the registrar, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm also the registrar. So as I'm going through, if I have a question or we have a question about something, we may send you a quick text to ask you a question. We're gonna get that from that phone number box. So please put in the best contact information that we could have so that we can reach out to you. You'll see down at the bottom, the first student, full name, second student, full name, third student, full name, and on and on and on, however many students that you have. Then, here we go. Then right underneath, you're gonna see price details. If you're registering one student, you're gonna keep that box, it's gonna automatically be checked, that $55. You're gonna put in your credit card payment at the bottom, and then you're gonna process. Okay, if you have two students, you're gonna that one box is gonna already be checked. You're gonna click on the second registration, and then it's gonna tally it up. So the most that you will pay if you have 3 students will be $165 to register your family of 3 or more tonight. So once you identify whether you're doing 1, 2, or 3 students, you want to go ahead and make that payment. And put your card in that you're using, and then you're gonna process your payment. Let's see. Oh, I do have it. Here we go. I'm sorry, I do have it. Yay, here we go. So this is what you will see. When you go into the link, you see how it says family registration up there at the top? That is the $55. That's the only thing that's gonna have a price to it. Everything else says free. That's because you are, like I said before, you're not paying Coursera for that class. We're not asking you to make the $325 or $350 payment tonight. That's not what we're asking. Only thing we need you to do is sign up. You'll see where it says first grade English language arts at the top. You see how it says 5 spots left? That's how we can keep track of how many spots are still in the class. If the class is closed, you will see no spots available for this class, okay? So everything will be listed in a numerical order by grade. You'll see all the first grade, then you'll see the second, third, on and on and on, and you scroll down. You must do 1 individual registration per child, per class. So for instance, my youngest is going to 7th grade in the fall. I want him to take ELA. I want him to take math. I want him to take science. I want him to take social studies. I'm going to have to fill out, I'm going to have to click on the 7th grade ELA. Then I put his information in. It's only asking for 3 things: his name, my email address, and the parent name. Okay. And then he's registered into that class. Then I have to go and I go back to this screen and click 7th grade math. Put his name, my email address, parent and phone number, and parent name. Click it, he's in the class. Then come back to this screen, do 7th grade, and on and on and on. That's one child. Then if I have a second child, I have to do the entire same process over and over again. Over again. I know it sounds like a lot. This could probably take you about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how many people. I know people who have like a couple of computers and dad's doing one and mom's doing one. It's just kind of how you want to do it. But you will need to register for each individual class first per student. Okay. I might have those instructions. Oh, no, that's it. Yay, that's it. Do we have any questions? Did I forget anything, Nicole and Kim? Did I say everything?
I think
you said everything. Can you close the screen?
There was one question about what happens if all of your. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm going to say what you're saying, Kim. But we have registration. Returning family forms and new family application. Please, please, please make sure you fill out that new family application. If this is your first time coming with us tonight, right, and you register all of your students, as soon as you're done, we need that new family application if you're new to our program. Okay, so make sure it's on. You can find it on the website. I think it's underneath the classes and curriculum tab, Kim. The new family form. The new family application.
I'm looking.
So it is a JOT form. Oh, close the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. The JOT form, all you have to do is go in, and there is no printing stuff out. If you've been with us before, you remember the family form that was paper and you had to fill it out and all this other stuff. Now we utilize JOT form. And so all you have to do is fill out all the information on there. And a lot of what we spoke about tonight will be also included in that JOT form. So you'll see the parent duty, your understanding of parent duty. You'll see your understanding of COVID. You'll see your understanding of everything. It's all in the JOT form, but we really need you to fill out that form.
Those forms are actually on the homepage as well.
There you go.
Yep. There was a question about if all of your classes are waitlisted, you pay the registration and you don't get any of your classes, will your registration be refunded? Yes.
Yes.
Somebody asked that. Yeah, that is the one instance in which that non-refundable is refundable, because if you don't get any classes at all, then of course we're going to give you back your money so you can go back and find something that will work for you.
But to clarify, that your registration is refunded if if you don't have classes.
Right. If you have no
classes and you want to, then your registration won't be refunded. Only if all your class, if you never get the classes off the wait list type of thing.
Yes. We just had a question.
Yes, Dana, because we only meet on Tuesday and Thursday. So parent duty days are always on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, if you join a committee where there is, where there's a special event or something and your committee is supposed to be there, that's different. But for your official 10 parent duty days, that's always Tuesday and Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Can we jump back up? Because someone asked,
yes.
Is there a max class size for high school students? So we have our maximum classes for this year. We up to 12. Oh, you know what else we didn't talk about? Parent helpers. Anyway.
Oh, we didn't. Yeah. We didn't talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, we completely forgot about that. 12 for from elementary, 12 students in the class, 15 for middle school. So 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th, and 8th are 15 students. High school is also 15. So that's the max that you will find in our classes for this year. Someone said, when can new families register?
No, I was going to say some of the high school classes I think are set at 16, but we 16, don't. Yeah, but we don't exceed those numbers. The the in-class parent assistant, because Safe Sanctuary limits us to a ratio of 14:1, every class that has 15 or more students will have a permanent in-class parent assistant, which is another adult who is basically contracted with the tutor to be in class assisting that tutor always. And they may do some grading and some other stuff too, but they'll be in the building, in the classroom for classes that's required at Mount Hope. Sometimes high school tutors utilize them as well, because it's not required at Judah Temple, but it can be helpful. No, there's no charge for snack, but there is a charge for study hall.
Yes. We didn't talk about study hall.
Visiting, somebody asked about visiting, visiting Judah Temple to come and tour.
Darnell, the answer to your question is no, but if you would like to establish that, we'd be glad to have you do that for us.
Which one? Where were you?
Which one was that? What was that?
Okay, what are you talking about, Nicole?
Darnell Jackson asked if we were partnered with Scholastic Books, iReady, MobyMax, ABC Mouse, and all of those for discount purposes. And I said no, but if he would like to establish those discounts, we'd be more than happy to work with them. Okay, I'm sorry. No fee for snack time, definitely a fee for study hall.
Oh, somebody asked, yeah, if your child has a gap between classes, is there space for study hall for those students? Yes, the study hall fee for elementary and middle is what, 100 for the year?
It's $100
per period that you're using.
And for high school, it's 150 for high school. Let's just say, we're going to say that. It's 150 for high school. It's 100 for elementary and middle. Here's the other thing about study hall. Study hall takes place. So if you have a gap, like somebody asked, if you have a gap and because we're a la carte and your student isn't taking all the classes, or let's say you didn't get into all the classes, then for every class, I think you can take one study hall, correct, Nicole? Isn't that the way it's for every class that you are in, you can take one study hall class. So then what happens during study hall, we have two wonderful women who sit with the students. They know the students, the kids are bringing in work. They sit down and they get that work done. They're socialized. Sometimes if it's a nice day, they go outside. They let the kids play outside. I can tell you, one of my sons always asking, can I go to study hall? So study hall is an option for those of you. Those are students only. Parents are not coming into study hall, sitting and working with their students. That is a student only study hall. We have adults that are in there that are monitoring the students during that time, during the day. If you have one child and you have study hall, our assumption, and you don't take a first period class or a fourth period class, then because they're with you, you would bring them for second or third period. Like there would be no reason for you to put them in a first period study hall if you only have one child. Many people utilize study hall for first period and fourth period if they have two or three children and one child is taking a class for first period, but another child wasn't able to get in, okay? So that's really kind of what study hall is. I wanted to make sure. And I also want to jump back and talk about those parent helpers quickly. This is another way for you to be in the building with your students if you're interested in it. As Nicole mentioned, many of the tutors pick a parent, and that parent's, like my parent helper, sometimes she's just a smile. Well, we're wearing masks, so I can't see her smile, but I can tell her eyes. If somebody says something, it's kind of encouraging for me to have somebody there. She'll collect papers, she'll pass out papers, she'll cut the lights on when we're watching, on and off when we're watching the video. She walks kids down to the front if somebody's not feeling good. We respond immediately. As soon as the child says, I have a headache or my stomach hurts, we don't let them sit in the class. Somebody's going to walk them down to the front and we're going to contact the parent, right? So that could be the person, instead of the tutor going down and walking, the tutor stopping what they're doing, the parent in class can do that. If that's something that you may be interested in, please let us know. There are benefits to being a parent helper. So that may be of interest to you. If that is of interest to you, let us know. But you are asked to be in classes from September all the way till May. So there is no, I'm just going to do it for a month because I don't have anything to do for the month of October. No, you'd have to be in there every class Tuesday and Thursday from September all the way till May. Some people do 3 or 4 classes. Some people do 1 class. Some people are there the entire day. So, I just wanted to throw that parent helper.
What do they get out of it?
the compensation is that they are able to have their class for free. So they're compensated by a free class. So if you are, like, for instance, my parent helper, she has a child in my class, so therefore she doesn't pay me she doesn't pay me that $325 tuition, because she's there every day and she's helping me. Then if she does two, actually my parent helper does two classes for me. So therefore her child is free in one class, and then I pay another tutor for a class for her child. So you get compensated by a free class tuition. You do 4 classes, that's 4 classes that you can get paid, that that somebody will pay the tuition for. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm looking at, I'm scrolling.
Someone asked, when can new families register? As soon as we're done,
Right.
they can register.
Somebody asked if they were able to
only
visit.
the deposit. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I want to answer this quickly. Someone asked, only the deposit is due to hold your spot in class, not registration fee. Tonight, you must pay registration fee. You have to pay registration fee tonight. And then in April is when the $30 deposit is due. So don't get that confused. Tonight, you have to pay the registration fee. And then in April, your tutor will reach out to you, let you know how to pay for that spot. And then in April, you are paying your $30 deposit to secure your spot. You have to make a decision by April, okay? What were you saying, Kim?
Oh, we had 2 questions. One was about visiting. Please, okay, so, this is a pet thing for me. We are a program, we are not a school, because we're homeschoolers. But in terms of visiting, listen, our COVID policy right now is that nobody walks through that door without a negative PCR, period. And really the only people that are coming in, because we're just that tight on that. And the only people that are coming into our program right now is if you're a parent on duty, in-class parent assistant, a tutor. There you go.
We committed to our families at the beginning of this year to minimize exposure as best we can. So the reason we're not doing, that's why the open house is online, because we're minimizing exposure. So we're not, and we committed it to the families and to the churches. So nobody's coming into the building that is not already a part of the program. We don't have people just coming through to do, site visits or whatever. We're even a little squeamish about people who are in the building working on the church, like contractors and stuff. We don't even like that, because we really want to try to minimize COVID exposure to our families. But we have videos that walk you through the building on the website somewhere, aren't they? Or there's somewhere we did open house
for parent duty. Yeah, I think we did for parent duty. Yeah, we did. I'll pull that up and make sure that that's up there.
There's some kind of videos where we walk through so you can actually see the building.
Oh yeah, the one that we did in the fall when all the tutors were in the rooms. Remember that, Kim?
We did do an open house walkthrough kind of building, because we knew our families weren't going to be able to see the building until they did parent duty. So that's the answer to the visiting question. So still about Mount Oak sports. Mount Oak sports, you should really get in touch with the church about sports this year. They're making some changes. Okay, Kim, go ahead.
Yeah, right now Mount Oak sports is on hiatus. And so sports such as it is right now coming through the PE program at eXtend Homeschool Tutorial. Yeah.
Someone asked, are assignments completed during in-class instruction times or outside of classes? Both. Depends on what the tutor asks the students to do. So for instance, I may do something in my class where we're working on an assignment. We may start it in class and then they go home and they finish working on it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or I will explain to the kids in class and then they go home and they work at home. All the tutors try their best to have something for the students to do on Mondays and Wednesdays. I have to remember to say Fridays, y'all, because I don't do any work on Fridays. I'm off a 3-day weekend. But all the tutors try their best to have something for the students to be doing on Mondays and Wednesdays when they're not with them. So even if I have a light week, I may still come up with something. And I'm not a fan of busy work. I'm gonna let you guys know, I'm just not. But we also understand that you're working with them on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. So you will find some tutors will have some work for them to do during that time. They might be doing a test, they might be answering questions in a textbook, they might be doing something that keeps them working on those days.
And we use the expression homework, but for homework, we really do mean Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We don't mean Tuesday and Thursday after you leave tutorial and go home.
Yeah.
So outside of classes is really just Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Edwina, your child, you need to do the new family registration because our forms have been updated. So please do the new family registration form.
Someone asked if your child has to come with you at 7:45 when you're on parent duty. And my question, only because I have 6 kids, and even when I was nursing, my kids came with me. Why wouldn't you? Because one of the things that we also encourage our kids to learn is how to serve. So if you're on parent duty, yes, bring your child. Your child will learn how to serve. Your child will learn what it is to set up a classroom. Your child will learn what it is and where the chairs have to go, where the desks have to go, where the bins have to go, where to put, stuff on the desk. So by all means, we say bring your child. So there's no, and actually, let me just address this too. Can you leave and pick up your child for later class? No. We've already had that situation even happen this year where somebody said, oh, but my child has to go to class. Okay, yeah. So there are enough of us that were going to that other location that they were able to come on and go with us. So when you're at parent duty, you are full on in parent duty at the location.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can't
also in addition to that,
be there.
Yep, that's what I was getting ready to say. I was gonna say, in addition to that, we only have maybe about 3 or 4 parents at a time working. So if one person's on the side of the building and you're a person that's standing at the door and another person is in a classroom and you leave and no one knows, that space is there's nobody there, then we're kind of scrambling. So when you show up at 7:45 to help us, the expectation is that you stay until 2 p.m.
So we do have some families though where mom is on parent duty and she comes at 7:45 and dad or somebody else brings the kids later, and that's okay. But the parent who's on duty is not allowed to leave to go get kids and bring them back.
Yes.
Okay, still scrolling. Okay, we talked about that. Thank you, Maura, for answering the study hall class. Does anybody else have questions that they didn't put in the chat? It's okay to open up and ask if you want.
Yeah, ask now. We want to make sure we try our best to be as transparent as we can be. We might.
And as you all may understand, we don't do a lot of sugarcoating. We just kind of try to tell you what it is. Right? Because we don't want to give you these starry eyes and then you say, that's not how they present that. Yeah. Yep. We really try to give it to you the way it is.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I guess we can assume there are no more questions. So thank you everyone for being with us tonight. We are looking forward to meeting your families and to having your children participate in the classes and having your family participate in the program. And if you all have any questions beyond what we shared tonight and what's available on the website, please reach out to leadership at extendhomeschool.com and we'll be glad to answer your questions.
And with that, I can tell you that it is now, we're live.
I have another thing. Some of you may, she said the link is live, so that means I lost everybody.
Link is live.
I know, right? We just lost everybody.
That's okay. Yes, the recording will be on the website. The recording's gonna be on the website. And some of you may hear from us if there's something in the application that we need to ask further details on. Okay, so just know that if there's something in your application that we may have a question, you may hear from us. So I think I should stop talking now because.
Yep. All right, guys, go register. Nice to meet you all.
You want to register? Nicole, give everybody good prayer out.
Yeah.
Lord bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you and give you peace. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Just that fast. Bye, Darnell. Bye, Dave.